Stop. Whatever you are doing right now, stop immediately. What I am about to tell you is not for everyone listening. It is for you, specifically for the moment you are in today, June 15th. There is a weight in the air, a kind of urgency you can't explain, as if something is about to close or be lost forever. You felt it this Monday, didn't you? The feeling that there are only 6 minutes left. A metaphor for a window of time that is narrowing, a deadline you can no longer ignore. You have been carrying a question that no one around you has been able to answer, and the exhaustion you feel is not just physical, it is spiritual. I came here to tell you exactly what it means. Before we go on, I want to establish a sacred contract between us. By the end of this transmission, you are going to recognize the signs that have been showing up in your life and understand what they really mean. You are going to understand the unique pattern that has been blocking what you seek so earnestly. And before this moment ends, there is a declaration I am going to speak directly over your life, which I believe is the true reason this message reached you today. Stay with me. What is stored up for this conversation is what you have been searching for without knowing where to begin. You have been noticing things that to others seem like coincidences, but which carry an overwhelming weight for you. Maybe it is waking up repeatedly at 3 in the morning, an hour when the world goes silent and only your mind keeps racing, trying to solve problems that have no logical solution. Maybe it is conversations that used to make sense and now sound like empty noise, as if you were speaking a language no one else can understand. You have felt sudden waves of emotion with no apparent cause, a tightness in your chest followed by a calm that has no origin in your routine either. These are signs of a silent calibration. You feel distant, out of place, as if you are living in a scene where the pieces were swapped while you were sleeping. It is not exhaustion, though you feel as if you are carrying the weight of 10 years on your shoulders in just 10 days. It is not failure, though the visible result remains the same. It is preparation. You are being stripped of what no longer serves you, so you can carry what is coming. Your fingers typing those 3 numbers are your way of saying yes to the change that is knocking at your door. It is the smallest of agreements, but it is a real agreement with the flow you are part of. Attention! You need to prepare yourself now. I have prepared material for those who doubt their own calling from God and still do not have confirmation. Are you one of the chosen? We'll give you that clarity. These are the 7 signs of the language of the calling, marks of God in the story of every chosen one, so you can reread your story and recognize the purpose sealed over you before the foundation of the world. Stop calling coincidence what is actually a calling. Stop silencing the sacred restlessness. Stop postponing the answer you feel. Your window is closing, and a chosen one who does not recognize the calling does not walk in purpose. More than 10,000 people have already read the 7 signs and received the conviction they had been seeking for years. They were just like you. They felt something no one understood. They lived in silent doubt, and they discovered it was real. And it had a name. The offer is open only this month. Access the link in the pinned comment now, before doubt steals another year from your calling. Type 888, the symbol of abundance and new beginnings, and then come straight back to me. The truth is that you have been operating from a place of effort that does not match your true nature. You have been trying to pull ropes that are no longer attached to anything. What you call persistence has actually been an attempt to force a door that is not locked because of a lack of strength, but because of a lack of alignment. You feel like you are running a marathon with your feet tied together, and the frustration comes from that gap. You know you have the ability, you know you have the calling, but the results keep slipping through your fingers like water. It is as if you are trying to fill a container that has an invisible hole in the bottom. And why does that hole exist? Because your energy has been channeled into sustaining structures that no longer belong to your present time. You have been living in the past, trying to solve the future with the tools of your version from years ago. There is an even deeper layer beneath this effort, something that happened long before today. Imagine a path you were taught to follow, a route drawn by others who, with the best intentions, buried your own compass under layers of fear and social expectation. You were shaped to survive, to fit in, to be productive, but you were never taught how to just be yourself. That is the root. Your exhaustion does not come from working too hard. It comes from being who you are not, in order to please a world that never truly paid attention to your real effort. You carry a weight that is not yours, and what you feel today, that urgency of 6 minutes, is your spirit finally screaming that the time for pretending is over. We are recalculating your life route. It is not a course correction. It is a return to your original ground. Let this declaration anchor the recognition where it needs to be. The act of typing these 3 words makes the testimony permanent in your personal record. Type, "Take on this awakening now," and come straight back to me. The solution you are looking for is not in more effort, nor in more strategic planning. The solution lies in a radical surrender. You need to stop trying to build what was already designed to be received. There is a flow that is trying to move you toward your destined place, but you are gripping the wheel so tightly that you are keeping the boat from following the right current. Your part is not to row. Your part is to let go. Let go of the need for control. Let go of the image of who you thought you had to be. Let go of the fear that if you stop striving, everything will fall apart. The truth is, if you stop striving in your own way, what is truly yours will find a clear path to arrive. If you feel that this message touched something that was buried, let your like be your wordless amen. Not as a metric, but as a silent agreement that what has been named here is the truth your soul needed to hear this Monday. Look around you, or rather notice who comes to your mind right now. There is someone in your circle, someone who has been the pillar for everyone. But no one notices when that pillar starts to crack. Someone who is working silently, carrying a burden no one else sees, with an exhaustion they disguise with formal smiles. Someone whose face just came to your mind as I was speaking. Send this message to that person, not as a casual suggestion, but as a necessary delivery. The same path that brought this clarity to you today is the path they need to walk. Be the messenger they did not know they asked for, not as a request, but as a final confirmation of what you accept for your life from now on. The agreement we formed in this conversation is a seal you will carry for the rest of this season. Type slowly, feeling each letter, as if you were writing your own name on a document that can no longer be changed. You have been living under a pattern that, while it may look like dedication, is actually the cause of your burnout. You have been applying a colossal amount of force in directions that should have been abandoned long ago. This pattern of silent exhaustion does not come from a lack of ability or a lack of faith, but from a failure of both technical and spiritual direction. You keep pulling ropes that aren't attached to anything anymore. You insist on keeping doors open that time has already closed, believing your persistence is a virtue when in truth it has become your greatest obstacle. The diagnosis is simple, but hard to admit. You are exhausted because you are trying to carry the weight of a destiny you designed yourself, ignoring the map that was given to you from the very beginning. You feel this tiredness not just in your muscles, but in your very soul, because your energy is being drained to sustain a structure that no longer has a foundation. Picture now a great old courtyard made of solid stones and paths that lead to deep places. For years, you walked through that courtyard following a route that seemed logical, a trail that everyone around you validated as the correct way to fulfillment. But at some point, you veered off. It wasn't a grave mistake or a conscious choice to get lost. It was a subtle shift, almost imperceptible, like a compass that suffered a minor magnetic interference. You keep walking, believing you are on the right path, but the landscape has changed. The stones that once shone beneath your feet now feel cold and lifeless. The wall that was supposed to protect your garden has become your limit. You are trying to force a passage in a place where the path simply no longer exists. The original route, the one that was aligned with your essence, is off to the left, behind vegetation that grew because you neglected it while insisting on this blocked road. The block is not a punishment. The block is a necessary interruption to make you stop walking in circles. It is the physical evidence that if you keep going at this pace, you will get nowhere, because the destination you are chasing lies in a different quadrant. You need to stop fighting the block and start looking at what was left behind. Take a deep breath now. Let that image of the courtyard and the detour settle in your mind. Not just as a statement, but as the recognition that the fog has lifted. Your typing is the seal that consciousness has finally caught up to your will. Type now, and then come back to me immediately. Now that you have recognized the failure, the solution is not to start running faster in the new direction. The solution does not require more effort, more plans, or complex survival strategies. The solution is the return. It is the act of stripping yourself of the need to control the outcome. You have been operating under the belief that you need to build your own reality, but that burden is too heavy for a human. What you need to do is what I call strategic surrender. Stop pushing against the air. Stop forcing windows that are stuck. When you surrender to the divine flow, you are not giving up. You are allowing the current, which is far more powerful than your will, to carry you to the harbor that was already reserved for you. Letting go of human effort is the first step to true freedom. You will transform into a steward of opportunities, not a desperate creator of them. Notice how, as you release the ropes you were holding so tightly, the weight on your shoulders lightens. What is yours does not require struggle. It only requires you to be present to receive it. Your mission now is only to keep your frequency aligned, your heart clean of resentment, and your eyes watchful for the sign that will come when movement is truly needed. You are learning that rest is not the absence of work, but the presence of trust. You are learning, attention, you need to prepare yourself now. I have prepared material for those who doubt their own calling from God and still do not have confirmation. Are you one of the chosen? We'll give you that clarity. These are the 7 signs of the language of the calling, marks of God in the story of every chosen one, so you can reread your story and recognize the purpose sealed over you before the foundation of the world. Stop calling coincidence what is actually a calling. Stop silencing the sacred restlessness. Stop postponing the answer you feel. Your window is closing, and a chosen one who does not recognize the calling does not walk in purpose. More than 10,000 people have already read the 7 signs and received the conviction they had been seeking for years. They were just like you. They felt something no one understood. They lived in silent doubt, and they discovered it was real. And it had a name. The offer is open only this month. Access the link in the pinned comment now before doubt steals another year from your calling.